There we go. The loot haul from the breakfast buffet. 3 bagels, a lot of cream cheese on, and maybe a croissant if I can eat it. Otherwise I'll eat it a little later. We are taking a zero here in Big Bear. We were thinking going in and get out, but we got in really late and we got a place really late, so we have a bunch of chores we need to do. We got to ship gear ahead, we got to get some resupply packages, do resupplies, figure out the next section, snow, coordinate with Dammit Man's girlfriend Kelly about resupplies. I have a bunch of videos I'm gonna need still fix and upload. I did most of it last night, but then I got to bed really late and I still wake up at like 6 before 6, so I haven't slept enough. And thanks hugely again to Bethany, we got an extra night here, which is absolutely amazing, so we can get everything sorted out. I think Dammit Man is also trying to remove a few things from his pack, some extra clothing we won't need because it's getting like hotter, so he might get rid of a few pounds of gear, which is amazing. He does sometimes have a little bit with his back hurting a little bit, so lightening the pack a little bit is definitely gonna help. Otherwise it's pretty good. Breakfast now, then we're gonna hit laundry, then we go for the post office, and then we'll figure out how much food we need. I guess I might as well say it now. It's we have sad news today. I had a feeling, because I didn't hear much from my one guy ahead, Jim. So sadly, Jim has decided to go home. I'm pretty sure he made it here to Big Bear, and then he probably got a ride back and he flew home. So that kind of sucks. We wanted to catch up with him. Yeah. It is what it is, but the duel continues. Dammit Man and PlusOne. We're gonna touch that monument. When we get there, maybe Jim will be on the Canadian side saying hi to us. If we get there, when we get there. Did I say if? When we get there. I'm sure he will be. Maybe he'll be back later this season. Join us for another section. That would be awesome. We miss him. And even like Jim's sleeping bag and stuff has some issues, so the reason he didn't do San Jacinto, he has done it before, but the reason he didn't was mainly because of that. And I think it's a good call because it was really cold out there, and yeah, you shouldn't play around with those kind of things. But it we didn't get to hike with him over San Jacinto, so we've been split up for a week or two, which is it's rough, and so we haven't been able there to keep him in high spirits and keep him going. Sorry, Jim, but I hope you enjoyed at home, get some rest, come back out here. I know it'll be a few weeks and you're gonna miss us. Anyway, I'll try to show a little bit of Big Bear today, and we got a ton of chores to get done today, so let's get that done, and then next section we're gonna head for Wrightwood. Foot is a lot better. Still some pain, but it feels to be healing every day. In Wrightwood, I'm gonna have new shoes, or slightly used shoes. I brought them over from home, but it's the older model, so they should fit better. And in case they don't, I'm gonna instantly order a new pair and get a bigger size. Yeah, time to eat. It's a little shot of what a hiker room looks like. Doing stuff. Every man working on his resupply. We have too much, but so we got a full bag extra over here of food because we have Jim's extra and we have extra food. So we're gonna send that to, I think, Tehachapi. Dammit Man knows some trail angels up there, so we might have full resupply for that. And that is me working on resupply. See how it goes. Now I need to get out, probably get some tortillas, probably some fruit, some mayo and ketchup. In short, it's a mess. We're in Big Bear, but apparently there's all these red line, the blue line, like buses or transits around town that's free. So we're gonna use that. I think there's a yellow line going, and I think if we leave in like 15-20 minutes, we get that. That'll take us to State of Bros, Abons, and we can do a full resupply there. Whatever, we need some snacks and stuff. I'm gonna try to carry some tortillas to get some lunch in. And yeah. we are planning to go for Ridewood. We are heading out tomorrow. We should have a ride. And then it's 110 miles or so to Ridewood. There is closed sections because of fire last year in Ridewood. So, that might ruin our continuous footpath. We'll see. So I'm ideally, I kind of want a footpath, but I hate hiking on gravel road because that's not really what hiking is about. So I kind of have, in my mind, I kind of have my way of how I want to hike the PCT. But we have the fire closures, and I am not breaking rules. I was trying to abide by all the rules, and we don't want to injure any of the forest that has burned. It needs to be refreshed. So before Big Bear PCT, the PCTA recommends that you take a side trail down, and it looks like it's a gravel road, and then you get to the road, and you can either hitch into Ridewood or road walk it. We might hitch and just get a hitch for all the asphalt and not road walk all those. There's a shit ton of miles on asphalt with, I don't know, it just sucks, and I have to have fun. So I want to hike all like the open miles, all that stuff, but we might hit that. I think that's what most people are doing. Don't really care. I want to do what I count as a thru hike for me. But fire closes really sucks. I did hike that section in 22. I also hiked it last year, and it's an awesome section up past Ridewood. And it's also probably where I feel less inclined to do a freaking road walk. However, it is a little in my mind, like it does ruin a continuous footpath. But, and I've mentioned before, I want my continuous footpath as my thru hike. However, how do I say this? My real goal is probably, I want a continuous footpath on the trail, or sometimes I might even do a blue blaze if it's definitely a section I've done before. And sometimes there's a side trail. It might be just going a different way around. Sometimes it's harder, sometimes it's easier, sometimes it's the same. But when you already hiked it a few times, sometimes it's just more interesting to do a different path. So my thru hike, whether you like it or not, is a PCT thru hike +1 style, which means I'm inspired by the PCT. So I am having a meaning. Probably 99% of my hike will be on the PCT and more. But there might be a few side trails and other fun stuff that I'm going to prioritize instead. And my mental reason, whatever for this, is also like, there was one time back in the day someone chose the PCT and there was 3 routes going one way, and I'm like, all right, let's throw the dice, which way is it going? And in today's world, that might not be the best route. So either way, I think we're gonna get a hitch and skip road walking, which does technically then break our continuous footpath. But honestly, I'm not here to road walk. But of course, by doing this in Ridewood, if we haven't fully decided, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're gonna do. It is also recommended by PCTA, which is, nice. I mean, I don't wanna, I kinda wanna follow the rules. Anyway, it also means, of course, if we get further north in North Cal and we get a fire closure, and there might be 50-mile walk or something around, that I might then drop those. So my thought is, again, it's not to make it really easy or anything. It's just, I'm not here out to hike on a road. I am here for the adventure, for the fun, for the trail. And the fire closures that might come up in the north, because a lot of times there is fire in North Cal and beyond, even, everywhere on trail when we hit summer. And depending on how they hit, I might then also probably, well, of course, if it's the fire closure, we can't do that, but I might skip that. And if it ends up being a big section, hopefully not, like, 50, 100 miles, there's sometimes you can hike, like, let's say a few miles in trail and then back out and then around, back in, and then back out. Like, because there might be a section from road to road, let's say it's a random 50 miles, but it might only be like the 40 miles in the middle that's close to a fire closure. If that happens to me, I'm probably gonna skip the whole 50. It really depends on the section and how it is. Last year, like, what was it? I think in 22 there was sections where people skipped a couple of 100 miles, and you could have done some of it. But if I end up there, I haven't fully decided, but I might also do that. mainly just because then I would have it as an excuse to come back and actually fully hike those 200 miles or whatever, when it's open again. And there would be like a way to come back to the PCT and say hi again. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, I'm very focused on my continuous footpath, as I keep saying. But honestly, I'm not here to hike the road. So it might break that, but it is what it is. We haven't fully decided yet. We'll see. I'll get more into this at some point. And elaborate. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Cut. I'll try and short. Up here, I have a plan of how I want to hike my Pacific Crest Trail, and my challenge is up here, and it's pretty fixed, but I haven't opened fully up about it yet. So that's what really important is to me. Don't thru-hike your PCT according to other people's rules or what other things or whatever. Make your challenge of your hike and do it your way and be true to yourself. And I have had these thoughts since the beginning. And I kind of have a plan since the beginning, because I don't want to come to a section and then, skip it because it's easier. Hey guys, little recap today. I made the rookie mistake as a YouTuber. I forgot to charge my phone, so we've been around town all day, and I had no battery on, so I couldn't record anything. In regards to my previous talk about all this, purism, continuous footpath, all this, in future video I'll try to make a short statement of how it is, because I do have a plan, as I say, in my head of how I want to do it, and I'll try to make it short. Bear with me. Anyway, we have a ride out tomorrow. We are heading out tomorrow. Did a full resupply, carrying out fresh vegetables, an orange, probably an apple, a banana, fruit. So that should help us. Feeling pretty good, and yeah, now I'm gonna get some sleep and we'll get a ride out tomorrow, and we're gonna do some hiking. And I really hope I figured out reasons why I've been so tired and puking. One thing is my salt level was really low. I think yesterday's video I talked a bit about it, but damn it, man, it was recording and I was in head, so you could barely hear me speak. But I'll get more into that tomorrow. I have high hopes, and I think if all goes to plan, we're gonna crush some miles the next week. That we're gonna try to do some bigger miles and get there. Anyway, good night. Thanks for watching.